This is Chris and Holy Retardation Blog and another episode of RRP Podcasts, which stands for Random Retarded Podcasts, where I just basically talk about whatever the fuck is on my mind. And right now, on my mind is, to put it mildly, because it's been driving me nuts since yesterday, on my mind is a very famous book by a very famous author, and this is Kurt Vonnegut. So at university we're taking a course in American modernism in literature, and in about 3 weeks I'm supposed to deliver a presentation on Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-Five. And so I got the book and I started reading it yesterday. Well, technically I had read like the first 5 pages several days ago, and yesterday I got into reading it more seriously. And the thing that happened just fucking ruined me. The book hooked me so freaking hard that I kept reading it for like 8 hours with several breaks no longer than 20 minutes. And I went through like 2/3 of it. And I know a person could say, 8 hours is a lot, what the fuck did you do, how could you not finish it, it's a small book. But I am one of those people that I like my reading slow. Like taking every word in, letting it burn trails of each letter into my brain. I have done some quick rocket reading myself, but that was with books like The Song of Ice and Fire, where you just want to see what happens next, and you have no patience whatsoever to find out where the characters wind up. But I kept reading for 8 hours and only finished 2/3 of Slaughterhouse-Five. Because it's one of these books that are not about the story, I personally would say, not about the pace and suspense or anything, but about fucking philosophy, about, like Billy's Aliens would say, Slaughterhouse-Five is about the very fucking now, the present moment. What matters is now, here, and this now is inevitably connected to the past and the future in one sort of panoramic dimension. It's a whole, complete present moment, and that moment is all that matters. There is no story, there is no timeline, there is no time, there is no moral, like Vonnegut says. It's just a pile of moments stuck together, united in this little book that completely blew my mind. And to be honest, I can't fucking wait to finish making this episode so I can go back to reading. But I just had to talk about it. Very few books have, how should I say it? Very few books have zapped my brain like this before. And even the expression very few might sound a little too much. Because right now I can only think of one such other book, no, 2 books like this. And these are both by Frank Herbert, and they're both from the Dune series. And these would namely be Children of Dune and especially God Emperor of Dune. So just these two have had this profound effect on me, and now I am proud to say that Slaughterhouse-Five is the 3rd one. It's the first time I'm reading a Kurt Vonnegut novel, and I gotta be honest, it's the 2nd time this semester that I've actually read the book we're supposed to discuss in class. Because school and university education have made me biased towards literary works that are worldwide acknowledged and claimed as classics. Because in class they build up in your head this kind of huge pile of praise for the book, and then you read it and it pours the fuck out of you. Because no one can fucking guarantee that a book considered classic will necessarily suit your taste. I think that's very arrogant on the part of literary education. So I only read 2 of the books we were studying this semester, Slaughterhouse and Gatsby by Scott Fitzgerald. And Gatsby totally disappointed me. Well, not totally, but partially. I did like the writing style and generally enjoyed the characters, but the story itself was boring to me. I don't give a fuck about 20s rich idiots wondering about what the fuck to do with their boring lives. And So I was kind of skeptical about Slaughterhouse, because I had no idea what it was about. And then yesterday I got to it, and it fucking killed me. It had on me the impact that Children of Dune and God Emperor of Dune did. And I like to say that for me, God Emperor is the greatest book ever written. But in a way, Slaughterhouse kind of surpassed it. Because, don't get me wrong, I think God Emperor is just as philosophical and deep, if not deeper even. But Slaughterhouse had that depth factor, plus the fact that it hooks you like fucking hell. But by this I mean the writing style itself. Like, God Emperor, I needed breaks to read it. I needed to pause and let it sink in, but Slaughterhouse grabbed me so fucking hard, you know? I just couldn't make myself look away from the page. It's as if you're binging some TV show and it's 5 in the morning and you keep saying, just one more episode. With Slaughterhouse, I was like, just one more paragraph, just one more sentence, just one more word, just one more fucking letter. I don't know if that's like some kind of purely stylistic method, like stress pauses patterns in a poem or such crap. I really hate studying and trying to explain stylistics, so if it's that, I'm not gonna try to get deep into it. But the very way in which the sentences of Slaughterhouse flow through your brain as if you're eating chocolate out of like a toothpaste tube or something. I cannot say exactly what it was, but it did hook me up like there's no tomorrow. And I just keep reading and reading and didn't want to take a break. And I couldn't eat almost the entire day. And I suppose that's what... this is what's gonna happen again when I get finishing it in just a little while. So that's that. The writing style sucked me in a way that even God Emperor couldn't do it on that scale. Slaughterhouse might be standing a little higher in my personal list. About the depth of the story, I was just mind blown. 2 veterans starting out with trying to remember Dresden, so the narrator could write his book about it. It was simply awesome. And from the very beginning, there's quotes and more quotes that I want to remember. I always kind of do that. When I read a book that I fall in love with, which is like all the fucking time, I highlight all my favorite quotations, and in Slaughterhouse I marked like tens and tens and tens of sentences and paragraphs that made me get a nerdgasm. Especially when I got into the Billy Pilgrim kind of biography slash time travel slash war slash alien story. The thing about how the aliens see time and space and the world, like without separation between future and present and past, I fucking loved that. The bugs in Ember, and my favorite quote so far, there is no why. I love when in the beginning of a book it plants in my head the ideas that elaborate on a certain topic later on, and before reading further I make my own conclusion. And in this case, my initial conclusion about faith and time and written destiny and humans feeling unique about their no accidents philosophy, all my initial conclusions about that turned out to be the same as the book's conclusions about it. Like, I very often have asked myself this same question. Why do people think there's something special about them being somewhere or doing something, like it was destined to happen, like it has some sort of unique and profound reason to happen, as if they were chosen to do this or that? I think that humans are kind of too arrogant about their destiny, about their special sort of role in the universe. There is no why, like the truffle blah blah blah, like the aliens said. There is no why, there is nothing chosen, nothing special. A moment just is. A person just does. A thing just happens. And the thing is, some people would say, Some people would say this is too pessimistic for me to believe, like I should be more proud and confident with my part to play in the universe. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying nothing is important because of it. Things happen accidentally, things happen randomly, but that doesn't mean they're not beautiful or important. It's not about being specially predestined. It's about what you make of it once it's here. Just because it's random and happens for no particular reason doesn't mean you cannot give it a purpose. So yeah, I did my vocal essay. I got it all out, I think, or at least what I remembered to say, because I think I had a lot more to say about this book, but I forgot it, and I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna cut it off here and go read again. So Kurt Vonnegut and Slaughterhouse-Five. Why? There is no why. It's just bugs in amber. It's just an amazing book. For Holy Retardation Blog and the RRP podcast, this is Chris.